I think this banjo head's like F sharp. Somewhere around there. Hey, Larry. Hey, Morrow. Turn the volume up. Let's see. Yeah, this is kind of complicated because I'm running turn the volume up. I'm running an open broadcasting software and I got some speakers coming out the back. I wonder if this will mess it up. Audio input, audio output capture. Interesting. Turn the volume up. The banjo is coming in quiet. So you're saying, let's see. It's solo. Oh, the banjo's solo. Yeah, I got like this backing track playing on this background. Check 1 2. It should be coming out of this microphone. Is that the one? But it keeps going down. Let's see. Let's see. Oh my god, I gave people the wrong chat link. Yo, I gave everybody the wrong chat link. Hold on. This is too funny. Hi, Kamal. Kamal. Hold on, let me just adjust this. I messed everything up. Let's see. There we go. Boom. Okay, sorry. Yeah, on my talk up to an hour free. Okay, this is better. Okay, I had the wrong link. Can you guys hear me? I cannot hear you at all. Oh, there you are. I can hear you a little bit. It's really quiet. Yeah. It could be a little louder. Yeah, maybe turn up the gain on your microphone. Yep, the link did not work. Okay, cool. I got the link. That's better, yeah. No, definitely not. Jimmy P. Cool. Hey, Jimmy, welcome. Yeah, man, I used the wrong link originally. I was extremely live. There we go. Cool. Okay, now people coming in. I was like, nobody's joining. I was like, does everybody hate me? What's going on? Couldn't believe it. There we go. Okay, what's happening in... Oh, now... Oh, wait. Yeah, there we go. What? Sup? Okay, hold on. I'm having some technical difficulties over here. Let's see. I think I'm crashing. I think I'm crashing OBS. I think OBS is confused. Let me put this back over here. Okay, I think now it's working. Now it's working. Okay, hi everybody, welcome. How you guys doing? Can you hear me okay? Hello?
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay, cool. Nice. Larry. What's going on? You guys might have to adjust your volumes to come on in here. Sorry about the link confusion. Cool. Welcome, Brad. Nice to meet you. I don't think we've met before.
No, this is the first time.
Cool. Nice to
We
meet
met
you.
up a couple times, I think.
Yeah. Where are you from? Where are you out of?
Indianapolis area.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I just moved up from Louisville about a year and a half ago.
Uh huh. Cool. How long you been playing banjo? What's your banjo history?
I've been playing about 10 years.
Uh huh.
Slow learner, so things are starting to finally come together a little bit. Coming
Cool.
along.
Cool. Well, what got you to sign up for the Patreon, and what kind of stuff do you like, and what kind of stuff would you like to see?
Yeah, so I like your videos. I like bikinis. So
Bikinis.
those are the videos.
Yeah, that's funny because a lot of people tell me that I should stop doing that. So I kind of cooled out because I'm trying to like get more patrons.
No, that's cool. I'm kind of, I don't know, I like a lot of the bluegrass stuff, but I also kind of veer off a little bit. So like, oh my gosh, what's the name? Would You Be Satisfied
Uh huh.
that you put out? I couldn't remember the name of it. That's one that I really like. So
Okay, great.
I guess kind of trending towards more of the progressive sound a little bit,
Uh huh.
just traditional strug style.
Uh huh.
But I mean, I kind of like it all. So
Yeah.
I'll go back and forth. So I'll do just like straight bluegrass stuff or melodic stuff.
Yeah.
That's probably why I'm a slow learner.
Yeah. Do you have people you're playing with regularly?
No, I did when I was in Louisville. So the folk scene is really strong in Louisville. Haven't found that. Of course, we moved up here right during the pandemic. So I have a teacher that I work with every week, and we work over Zoom. Um, but no, I don't have a regular group of people that I play with.
Okay, because I'm curious how you practice.
Oh, how I practice.
Yeah, like what motivates you? Because I'm trying to like think like what kind of stuff can I put out to best benefit people. Because I just kind of want to get in mind like how people are practicing, what motivates people, how people are playing, like what they're doing with the tablature, so I can kind of figure out what kind of tablature or backing tracks I should be putting out that best help people out, that inspire people and also give them something to work towards.
Yeah, that's a great question. So for a long time, I played primarily from tab. Um, and now what I'm trying to do, so I've been incorporating like your Bob Dopolina lesson.
That's a good one.
And yeah, it's a great
That's a
one.
really good one.
And so I went back and revisited Blackberry Blossom, for example. And man, that fits right in for backup on Blackberry Blossom. That's hard to say. So that's kind of what I've started to work on. One tune that I'm working on right now is Caravan.
Oh, the jazz song.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's on Early Dog. So Bill Keith did it with David Grisman way back when they were both young. um, and so I'm trying to listen to that and pick out the melody, and then I put it in like tab edit and kind of go from there. So I'm trying to work on putting this stuff together more on my own than just reading tablature.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
that's what I really dig about your lessons. So like the Bob Davalino, that lesson, work on that up and down the neck, all the different variations of the rolls. And now here's this tool that I could be better. That's makes me better suited to go into a jam.
yeah,
Yeah, I can sit along and not just boom chuck, but I can put something interesting back behind this. I mean, I may not be able to work out a great lesson. I don't know. I could bake one with that. So those types of tools, I think, are help me.
cool. Well, you guys mind if I ask you all more or less the same question? Like Moro, I don't think we have met, have we? Like I can't hear you, Moro.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, yes, we didn't meet personally, but I actually sent you something that I wrote a few days ago.
Oh yeah. What was that?
That was a it was a musette. Like I was listening to
Did you send that to me on Patreon?
on Patreon. Yes,
Yeah.
I
Okay. I
sent it,
think I think I remember looking at that tab and remember it looked good. Yeah.
and I like to play around with jazz tune as well,
Uh huh.
but sometime like I was working on "The Lovely" from Cole Porter, and I started working from the piano partiture, and then I tried to transpose it into playing the banjo, kinda.
Uh huh.
And what what your what your lesson do, like Brad was saying, they give you the tool to actually transform the music from a piano into the banjo music. I mean, you can get tablature for any song on the planet, but that that doesn't take you too far. You learn that song. What you really want is the Lego blocks to
Yeah.
build the song itself. And
Yeah.
that's how I look at when I play. If I have all the blocks, and there are millions of blocks, you have 7 million blocks. I had three, so I
Uh,
do what I can with what I got. And so every time I look at your lessons, I have an extra block. Where
interesting.
then, dexterity comes in as a different problem.
Yeah.
I mentioned that I'm a little bit older than you are, so my wrist and my finger don't move as nimbly as yours.
Yeah.
But just knowing that I can do that kind of stuff and then do whatever song I want just opens up a new horizon. If I don't want to sound cliche, but that's pretty much what happens, and that's why I really like what you uh, what you're doing. And the other thing is that you don't delve too much into theory, which is nice to know, and I know a little theory, but when it comes down to the crunch, you have five strings.
Yeah.
It's not, just go ahead and play them. Like I watched Jens Kruger lessons, on hearing, and he has formal education in music. So when he explains what happens to a diminished chords, it's all well and good, but then how do you put it on the fretboard? That's the other thing that, like, and so I think that banjo player are a little bit more pragmatic than jazz player,
Yeah.
even though, and so that's what I see. I mean, I see what you do, I can try to imitate. Let's
Yeah.
put it this way.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm looking at the tab you sent me. I wonder if I can share that on here just to kind of show everybody, because I'm looking at it and I mean, I'm just judging it by the rolls. It looks legit. Let me see if I can if I can.
That's a function of me not being able to go too fast on the fretboard and too fast on the with my right hand. So I developed the rolls to
Oh
actually
wait.
suit
Oh,
my.
that's not it. That's not it. I want to show the actual tab. Let's see, because this thing, it looks really good. A window? What's this? Here we go. So now I guess you guys can see my screen. I mean, the first thing that I'm looking at when I'm analyzing this tab, you guys can see this okay? Can you guys see this thing okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can see it.
Okay. I mean, the first thing I'm looking at is these rolls. And they all, I mean, that's like a forward backward roll. Like the rolls aren't really repeating. I mean, I'm seeing a double forward roll there. I mean, these rolls just look good. I'm seeing no open strings right there. No open strings means the shifting is probably going to be difficult. But let's just listen to it. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, the rolls look excellent. Woo! Yeah. Nice. Uh. So how did you do this?
Well, I was listening to some gypsy jazz,
Uh-huh.
and gypsy jazz normally uses traditional French musettes, not the Bach one that sometimes you play,
Uh-huh.
but they come from there, and they have a very structured form. So they do A B A C
Yeah.
A.
But how, like, this melody that's being played, how accurate is the melody? Is it like all these like eighth notes? Is it accurate note for note?
I don't understand your question.
Like this melody, it's a note for note melody. Every note counts. There isn't like filler notes in there.
Yes, and the reason why is because I was listening to what like people like Stéphane Brembel or Thierry Lagren or Django Reinhardt played, and it seems like that a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff that they play is note per note, and
Yeah.
sometimes there are a lot of triplets going,
Well,
like up and down.
the thing that impresses me about this, and this is the kind of thing that I really want people to learn, like being involved with my stuff, is just like like the craft aspect of banjo playing, and just having rolls that make this kind of thing easy to play. And I'm just curious, how did you like make these rolls up?
I think it was in self-defense, to be honest. I can only go so far. Like when I see some of the stuff you play, I get it. I understand how you do it, but I wouldn't be able to play because I'm kind of limited my dexterity right now. You
Hmm.
know, like I'm not 12 years old anymore. So when I move too fast, I trample over my fingers and I start blocking string on the fretboard. And so I needed to develop a rolls and a melody that could actually come true even with me being a total you know, train wreck. And so that's how I did it.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool, man. So what tabs of mine do you like or have taken influence from?
Well, the Bob Dabalina for sure.
Uh huh.
I mean, and the one that you just posted, the diatonic one,
Yeah.
that is big. And then like the basic one that you show, with the 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 rolls, like thumb first and then index and that kind of stuff. Some of it is pretty common and stuff that I learned when I started playing the banjo. But some of the other stuff that you do is actually makes makes sense when you start getting into the diatonic stops and all of that. Those rolls actually count more than the usual G noise that any banjo player can
Yeah.
play.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, banjo has, I mean, at least in the past few years since I've been really studying banjo and trying to like really reverse engineer like Bela Fleck's approach and like how was he so prolific? I think it's because he's primarily a rhythmic player. And if one navigates themselves primarily with rolls and sees what kind of harmony is optional based on those rolls, the banjo becomes very easy to play and much more universal. So that's my thing. Well, anyways,
And I think developing an harmonic harmonies rather than melodies is probably something that happens only with a few players, right? A lot of people play the melody, like you go to jams and everybody, no matter what, they're trying to play the melody at all costs.
at least they should. At a good jam, they are. Then they're centered.
And that is very noble, but sometimes you want to kind of
You got hot dog.
expand,
Yeah.
you want to expand on that, like a jazz player does. But
Yeah.
it's very difficult on when you play bluegrass because it's really canonized, like there are certain rules you
Yeah.
can't do. I'm a chef by trade, I'm Italian, and so I don't use cilantro in Italian cuisine. You know, I mean, I would be taken to Guantanamo if I did that.
Oh,
But
it's an
because
offense.
in Italy there is no cilantro in the food. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work, but it's just like that's the way it is.
Yeah.
You just don't do it. And sometimes I feel that bluegrass in that sense is almost like that.
Yeah.
If you put in a diminished chord during a G round, all of a sudden, like people look at you like you're
Yeah.
out of your mind.
You've offended their delicate sensibilities.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Moro. It's nice to hear you speak. I love looking at this tab, and nice to meet you. Is there anybody else that wants to share their experience on my Patreon and what tabs they like, what tabs they hate, what stuff has influenced them, or how they practice and how this stuff can be inspiring to them? I guess everybody's shy.
Oh, they're muted.
Well, I'll say
I have a question. I have a quick question for you.
Uh-oh. So you guys are gonna have to Rochambeau. Jimmy, looks like you're on.
Oh yeah, all right, cool. Hey, thanks a lot. Hey, I just had a quick question for you, man. Do you like I'm a pretty beginner banjo player.
Uh-huh.
So when you have like a thumb 1-2 or a reverse thumb, do you recommend or do you personally like try and drill down on like a handful of those rolls and really get them down, or do you think there's more advantage to learning all the rolls?
No, I would not say you have to learn all the rules. No. What I'm trying to get across is a nomenclature system So you can actually, so it's a vocabulary to understand what the rolls are. It's vocabulary. So then when you come across something and you're like, oh wow, this is hard for me, like why? You can break it down into its fundamental and then understand like, oh that's, I mean in my case it's like that's what I'm bad at. And so I don't think you need to go through and learn all the roles. I don't. I think it's a nifty exercise if you can, because then it really will shed light on what one is weaker at. Me, and you're asking me particularly, what do I do? I'm actually working on, I mean, at least from what I found, I got a lot of people to sign up on the Patreon because of that Can't Stop Now video. And the Can't Stop Now and the I'm Down video. And both of those videos have like one thing in common, that they're like 160 beats per minute. They're so fast, and it was actually very difficult for me to play that fast. So what I've been doing in the mornings, I'm actually trying to train myself to play faster. And so you're asking what roles, like, am I particularly doing? It's like, I'm actually doing just, I mean, I've been working on middle forward and middle reverse. Those are the roles that I've been working. And it sounds kind of funny. I don't need to go into it, but I got really into breath work and qigong. It's like kind of like an energy, a Chinese energy training to like grow my tendons to be able to do this. But basically what I've been doing is like a middle forward in triplets. I'll actually put like a cloth in my strings so it'll mute them. But I'll do that and really try to relax my shoulder and my tricep and my bicep. It seems really weird if I just kind of do it for you, but I'm like, I'll do 4 sets of 60 breaths. So I'll just like go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll do 4 sets of 60 breaths, holding it on like a middle forward. So every, like, I'm getting like, it's like, every downbeat is getting a middle. And middle forward is actually a pretty weird roll. I don't know why, but thumb forward is a lot easier. Even index forward is a lot easier. But you aim to, I mean, I'm at least aiming to lock my middle finger in on the click. And then reverse that. I do middle reverse and do the same thing, 60 breaths. And just getting that middle finger on the downbeat. And I'm just trying to train myself to play faster and trying to like really just like relax my arm when it gets faster. My bicep and my tricep really lock up, and I'm just trying to incorporate breath into it. So you're saying, what role should I practice? It's kind of up to you, but the whole role system that I invented, it's vocabulary, so you can understand better what's going on. Hope that answers your question. I didn't drag that on too long.
Yeah, no, thanks. I appreciate your answer. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I love rolls. Anyways, nice talking to you, Jimmy. Kamal, what's going on?
Trying to figure out how to play banjo at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it's my favorite. It's my favorite time to play.
Oh my gosh, I can't even wake up.
Yeah, I'm the most active. That's when my mind works best. It's first thing in the morning. It's like I got like 2 hours that it's just like pure gold that I can like get all my important stuff done, and then after that I really just drag my butt. So it's better for me to go outside and take a walk or something.
No, I need a couple of hours more of coffee consumption.
Yeah.
I can be functional.
Yeah.
Well, I've not been practicing as much as I would like to,
Yeah.
but
Kamal, didn't you come up with some whole system? You like emailed me this thing that really shed light on how to understand the banjo.
oh, okay.
Didn't you? You like sent me some picture. I was like, whoa, that makes sense.
Yeah, well, it shed light for me. It was my fretboard diagram, or my program to generate fretboard diagrams, showing chord positions in different keys.
Yeah,
Polish that up.
did you email that to me?
I'm sure I did. I emailed you a couple of samples of it.
Here's, I think it's under an email entitled Banjo Ascension.
That makes about sense.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome to share that if that's an interesting thing to you.
I think it's pretty interesting to me. Well, yeah, I mean, it's interesting to show people because I think you need it. Well, yeah, it's a very intricate little diagram. You guys got to see this. Let's see. A window. Boom. Okay, so maybe you can explain what's going on here. This is actually pretty sweet.
Okay, so let's see. I guess there's nothing new here. Everybody's seen this information just in lots of different bits and pieces. I found it useful to map out. I wrote a program to do this for any chord, any major or minor chord or anything along those lines. It would map out all the chord positions um, along the fretboard, every possible chord position, and they're color coded. So, for example, you can see all the G majors there, right? So again, you've seen this kind of information presented different ways. There's lots of chord charts, but the idea of showing them all in position next to each other was very helpful to me. In that if I'm looking to move from a one chord to a four chord, I can easily see where all the one chords and the four chords are in a glance, and I do this kind of on the fly. It's also interesting to just walk up and down these and play triplets or rolls along these.
Yeah,
And
it's really funny to me how you color coordinated like the Roy G. Biv relative to the circle of fifths. So it's like I'm like trying to understand this thing and have it make sense to me, but it's interesting. The whole how
Well, if you
does the
play them in that order, I mean, descending fifths is always going to sound good. I guess I've learned that a lot of music includes a lot of descending fifths. So playing those chords or rolls over those chords in those orders will make some interesting music. It's or something musical anyway. Um, and doing that, I hear a lot of melodies.
yeah
So
yeah
uh, anyway, what I found was that it was interesting to reference this. I thought, okay, well, I'll have this chart. And after using it for a day or two, I found that I didn't need it anymore. I suddenly memorized all the positions for, everywhere I wanted to be. And that was really a useful and valuable advance for me. Now I feel like I can move around the fretboard up and down the neck with much greater freedom. I seem to, you know where the places to jump to are all of a sudden. So again, this was helpful for me.
huh. Does this make sense to the rest of y'all? What's this one?
So it's the same thing, but generated for a different key. This is for A minor
I
harmonic,
mean,
which
did you make
I'm less familiar with.
did you make a computer program to generate these?
Yeah, exactly. So I run my program to, tell it which key I want, and it can generate it for any one of them.
An A minor. When you say A minor harmonic minor, so you got like
Yeah,
so you okay, so you have a G sharp in there,
and I can generate it for any sequence you want. So the program knows things like what the sequence for the major key is, and minor harmonic and a natural minor. But I could plug in any values you wanted, and you could produce such a chart.
Interesting. Interesting. That's really cool, man.
Well, so see, I am into the whole theory stuff. It's like someone else mentioned that they were glad that you didn't get too deep into the theory stuff. But I find that it really helps me to get a grasp on this stuff. I don't want to say it helps me to understand it because that would imply that I do.
Yeah.
But like I said, just the act of writing the program really helped my understanding of, oh, here's how they all lay together, mathematically.
Yeah.
It's an interesting note that none of these chord patterns are stored in the program. You're used to the familiar looking chord pattern. The program doesn't store them; it actually computes them.
Yeah.
So if you were to tell me, okay, well, I want you to generate that, but I'm going to tune my B string up 3/2 steps. Sure, the program could generate that just as easily. Um, and that sort of thing. Figuring out, well, okay, this is why those are the notes that make up the 2 chord or the 4 chord or the 5 chord was educational to me. but
Yeah.
certainly pretty wonky stuff. I mean, it gets pretty nerdy into the music theory stuff at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing about with me and like music theory is just like, and anytime I like say, like this is that, just because there's like words aren't that accurate, it can get lost. You know, like if I say, oh, go to the flat sevens, like, oh, you mean like the flat seven chord or like a seventh chord? It's just confusing, and I just find it's better to like do it without words. At least that's how I think in my head, and I
There's a lot of overloaded terminology in music theory too.
yeah, there's
So that's another reason why it's like, look, I don't want to know about that stuff. I don't even care about that stuff. I want it to boil down to a small set of numbers, like
yeah,
whole half, whole half.
uh-huh,
It's 221, 2221, and that, like I said, that set of numbers, that is what's inside my program. Just that. That is what defines the entire major key, and everything else is computed from that. And that's the key. The fact that it can be computed from that. There's no magic here. It's not like, oh, these are just arbitrarily made up, notes or chords. They really are all mathematically derived from a basic pattern.
yeah,
Anyway, there's the computer science engineer.
yeah. That's pretty cool. I'm actually working with one of my buddies on making the Banjo Ascension app, which is going to be this kind of thing that's kind of like Strum Machine, except you can give it chords, and then it'll spit out like tablature for those chords, and you can choose like the roll pattern you want and like the inversion you want. And a lot of that is how I actually go about like improvising, playing backup, and soloing a little bit.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
Sign me up.
the Banjo Ascension app. Yeah. So yeah, we actually got it to spit out. We actually got the program to spit this out. We actually got the program to spit that out in tablature. So it's pretty funny. Yeah, it was a success. But we got to reverse engineer table edit, because there's a few things with table edit that I don't like. But it's really close to being a good program, like an excellent program. I love it. I swear by table edit. But yeah, I wouldn't be the banjo player I am. I wouldn't be the musician I am today if it weren't for table edit. Just because I'm able to like compose and listen to what I do. And if like when I was learning banjo on Banjo Hangout, like in high school, all I do is I just like go through the tabs and like, oh, is this good? No. Is this good? No. Is this good? Oh yeah, this one's good. And all the good ones, just like every time, were all Bela Fleck tabs. I don't know why, but it's just like all the, like I think it's because, I mean, in retrospect, because the way he uses rhythms and the way his rolls are just legit, and they go over different kinds of chords, not necessarily just the regular Scruggs stuff. And so I try to have my tablature be like that, very playable, but also harmonically expansive, but still rhythmically in that pocket. But anyways, I think there's a programmatic approach that you could take to generate that kind of stuff.
I agree.
And I just want to put it over some I just want to import like a huge library of Bach chords and spit out all this banjo tablature over these like gnarly like Bach chord progressions. So I think that'd be really fun if you could like program in like flat nines and like dominant seventh chords and flat 13 chords and things like that, and just have that like go into the roll and have it spit out with minimal shifting.
That's the tricky part, right?
Yeah.
That's I think what why that's not an easy program to write.
Because of the exceptions.
Well, as you said, the idea of shifting. It's like, sure, I can make a program that would plot all that stuff out, but you wouldn't be able to move your hands in those directions to play those things. That's I think where the artistry of composing a tab
I agree.
needs your human intervention.
I mean, I wholeheartedly agree. Like banjo craft, it's like a huge thing, man. I remember, Russ was on here earlier. I have a few students who are learning that Bach piece that I was doing. This one, And I've tried learning that song like over 10 years, maybe like 6 times, and I failed every time just because like my ability to like humanely intervene and make it playable was just, I just couldn't do it. I did not have what it took. But then after, playing professionally for a few years and transcribing a lot of Bela Fleck, learning modal single string, getting into rolls, I was able to like to transcribe the whole thing and make it playable in like 8 hours. So, but again, like how am I going to put my brain into table edit? Maybe my greater purpose is to become like the beating heart of the AI banjo program.
I think you are exactly that already.
Maybe, you know what I mean?
You guys are so inspirational and so, I don't know, beautifully crazy.
I thought he was going to say, man, you guys are so like off your rocker.
Well, you know what? And I've got to apologize. Something's going on with my voice today, so I don't normally sound like this. And I thought I was just going to drop in and say hi. And I love that you're doing a live session again today, but then I couldn't stop listening. So anyway, that's amazing. The other thing I'm just going to ask you, Rick, is the Qigong stuff that you mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, there's a name for that, and you have a method.
I do.
Because in all of your videos, to me, it's so apparent that you are so conscious of your breathing and that it's helping you. And I don't know how to do it. I hold my breath until I turn by and I get tense, and I go, fucking banjo is stupid and I can't play fast.
Yeah.
So later, or in the Patreon email group or whatever, if you would consider sharing, I don't know, your exact method or a YouTube you like or something, I would find that helpful.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I mean, little known fact about me, but I studied and practiced Qigong intensely for like 3 years. Like from 2016 to 2019, that's literally all I did. I got so into it when my voice teacher turned me on to Qigong, and I started Googling it, and I found this one author named Dr. Yang Jwing Ming, and he's like the owner of YMAA Publications, and I just read all his books and just like obsessively practiced. I got super into traditional Chinese medicine. And like the funny thing about Chinese medicine and this guy practiced martial arts, and he's also a translator of ancient Chinese poetry. And at the same time, I was also into some mysticism. And so this whole thing about like learning about like the ancient myths of like Atlantis and Lemuria and like ancient Egypt and ancient Greece and like the roots of like the Bible and like Babylon. I was also learning about like Chinese poetry that like point to like immortality. And it's funny because like there's all this like ancient stuff from like ancient Egypt, like becoming immortal, and there's all this stuff from like ancient China becoming immortal. And then I found this dude named Wim Hof, who climbed Mount Everest in shorts, and turns out he was on that same mystical hype too, except he's like, but you can achieve it in breath, but we don't call it immortality, we call it longevity. It's like, oh, okay. But basically, you're able to. I mean, I'll just cut it short. You're able to. You're able to augment your body's alkalinity through breathing. And so if you hyperventilate and you get all like lightheaded, you get tingling, you get loose in the body, that's actually the signal that your body is becoming more alkaline and you're making the chemistry right for cellular division, cellular replication. And from the Chinese standpoint that I learned, when you inhale, you bring your energy to like your organs, and when you exhale, you bring your energy out to your limbs. And when you hold your breath, that's kind of counts as like an exhale. So you're like putting your energy out and that's kind of what happens. I think when people play banjos, you don't have to breathe, and so people will just end up holding their breath and like their chi goes out towards their hands. But the real difficult part of banjo playing is actually breathing while you do it. This is a very long-winded thing, but it's like I got like who the heck? It's
amazing.
Yeah, I mean that phase of my life from like 2016 to 2019 is where I invented all the stuff from the banjo lessons for experts, because I was like very much in I actually made a fortune when I was playing. I had like $15,000. I was like, oh my god, I'm fucking rich. And so I took the year off and just paid rent with it. I just didn't do anything except like practice qigong.
That's
Yeah.
so wild.
and I practice qigong. And the other thing that I forgot to mention about YMAA is this guy is he's all about qigong for application of martial arts, like cultivating your own energy to change your body through martial arts. I was like, okay, great. I'll just reverse engineer that to do qigong for the purpose of playing banjo. And that like thought process is what made the Banjo Lessons for Experts series. And all like the diatonic triple stops, the modes of rhythm, but the whole like breathing thing and actually how I practice that. I haven't really made a video on that because people are just gonna think I'm too woo woo. So I don't, but like it seems really weird because I've been thinking like, should I actually like go on like stream this live, because I do it every morning, but like it's gonna look weird because I'm like hyperventilating while playing banjo to like a tabla. It's just like it's just gonna be really weird. I mean, I'll show you what I do. I don't think it'll make a good video, and I don't think it would make a good like a play along. And I think what would end up happening is I'd probably get sued because people would like try doing this and like pass out and like hit their head, you know, because I'm essentially hyperventilating while I play banjo. But I mean, it looks like I'll put on the little I have iTabla. And it's like a $25 metronome. It looks like that. And you can like choose like what instruments kind of play out of it. But it comes with this one funky beat that sounds like this. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. You hear that? Boom, boom, boom. That's when I exhale. You go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I do that times 6. And there's a point where like you're doing it and you get lightheaded. You're like, I can't fucking do this. I can't fucking do this. But like you have to get past that, and it's usually about 10 breaths. If you can get past 10 breaths, you'll be okay to do the 60. It's very strange. And I could do that, but I don't think that like I don't want people to pass out, and I don't want them to hurt their heads. But that's actually personally what I do from the 3 years of See, Wayne left because he's like, I came here to fucking like drive the 5, dude. That's the shit about Chinese medicine and yoga. So that's why I'm like, I try to stay away from that.
Traditionalists are rolling over in their graves here. I gotta tell you, Ricky. So more good stuff.
Yeah.
I have to drop too. I've got to actually have a work commitment.
Okay.
I'd rather stay here and talk about banjo and Chinese medicine with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, nice hanging out with you, Kumail.
Do this again, Ricky. It's been too long, and this is same as last time. Really
Okay.
fun.
I will, but you know, I've been focusing so much on like that Can't Stop Now kind of thing. I've been transcribing and just trying to put out videos like that, and they just take a lot more of my time because it's just more work, and I feel like I want to just put out more hard driving banjo.
It was good.
So-
The Can't Stop Now is a good one. I just started working on that. That's just another great video. So keep up the good stuff.
All right, Kumail, thank you so much.
See y'all.
Bye bye. All right, Anthony. It's that. Hopefully that wasn't too long-winded, but maybe that answered.
No, man, that was outstanding. I called my wife into the room. It's like, Sean, you got to check out what we're talking about here because this just so, I don't know, connected with kind of what we're going through, and I won't get into that, but it's kind of like, yeah, Chinese medicine and breathing and energy and whatever. So it was just like, damn it, I thought I was coming here to drive the 5.
Yeah.
And
Well,
here we are.
I mean, the thing for me is it's all about effortless mastery. And playing the banjo, it's so fast that I personally want to do it without effort. And the way to do that is you got to train yourself to breathe. And when you breathe and you do an action, that's when you grow your tendons. And it's this kind of thing. It's not about musculature. It's about tendons. And that once you have the tendons, they tend to stay there for a very long time. But tendons just take a long time to grow. It's not like you like lift weights and like have protein. You get like fucking fat bicep. It's more like you got to do it while you breathe, and you got to train the neurology. You got to train the neurons. You got to train the tendons. I mean, it's just you have to train your mind, is what it is. But I mean, you can say I don't want to make it too woo. You have to train the chi, but what you end up doing is like growing the tendons, growing the vasculature, growing the nerves. But it's like you can say, oh, you grow the energy channel, but that's just weird. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that guy, even though I am that guy. But the closest thing I'll get to that on like my Patreon is just saying like achieve immortality, achieve banjo liberation. but it's, I mean, it really comes back. I mean, I got so into Chinese medicine, and I still am a huge fan of it, and I still practice qigong every day. So.
Wow, I'm so glad I asked.
Yeah.
Thank you. Back to driving the 5.
Back to driving the 5. Yeah. Anybody else want to have anything to say? That was kind of long-winded.
Hey, Ricky, I was just going to go back to the clock piece.
Okay.
And as you and I have been working on that, I think just watching the tabs evolve with more direction around not only the rolls, but the finger placement. And I think that's helped me tremendously. And you can attack these tabs, and you can kind of look at it and go, okay, well, these are the rolls. And as I work through this, the prelude in C, I mean, the roll is just repetitive over and over and over and over, right? But it's the finger placement that on the left hand that I think is, stretching my brain a little bit. And I think the more of those indicators that you're dropping in the tabs, the more it helps
Yeah.
me to figure out, this is where this thing should start. And then from there, you can kind of figure it out. Eventually you've seen enough of it before, and it makes sense you continue to do it. But I definitely appreciate that in the tabs, because I'm still a beginner on this, and trying to wrap my head around a lot of these things. So those little hints help a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. I mean, yeah, Russ and I, we've been working on that Presto Sonata in D minor for a few months now. And it's an exceptionally challenging piece. And Russ is what's that word? Persistent. Oh, here we go.
You work on it for a few weeks, and then you get sick of it, and you're like frustrated, and you walk away, and then you come back. So it's that's the thing. Don't give up on it. Just keep coming back.
Yeah.
But it's okay to sprinkle some other stuff in between.
Yeah, but the whole left-handed. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about the left hand, it's just God, to actually tab out everything the left hand does would be very exhausting. I know you'd like that. I mean, we can take a look at the tab, because I don't know. Do you want to play us what you have, Russ? Put you on the spot.
Which one are we talking about?
The Presto Sonata in D minor.
Oh boy. Let's see. Where are we at? I'm not playing it today.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I think that the beginning part, all that part's been pretty straightforward. I think where it's really been difficult for me is that second part of the piece, starting on that A there, and was it 55?
Yeah.
So that whole bit right there, and we work on that. But just the notion of, like, when you're in your left hand, keep that position down.
Uh-huh.
Those are some of the tricks and stuff that aren't in the tab, but
No, it's not.
so for what it's worth, when I started on the C, the piece in C, I actually slowed down your YouTube video and studied your left hand, because it helped me move this song along faster.
Nice.
And that was just really studying your left hand and making sure I was doing the same thing. Because had I done my own devices, it would have been a mess.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. There's oh, it says our call ends in 10 minutes. So we got 10 more minutes because that's all they're going to give us. But yeah, man, I mean learning classical music on the banjo is very hard. And not everything can be captured in the tablature, but the rolls can and the left-hand fingering, like the position kind of can. But the stuff that you're asking for, it's like, oh man, I don't know if like we could write that into a computer program, you know, because a lot of the stuff that, like the mechanical stuff that you're talking about, is the human element. They're keeping your fingers down as long as you can, like unless you like have like a cyborg, you know, playing the banjo, it's like you can't really program that. And sometimes things are just difficult, and learning Bach on the banjo is. But
I've worked on some Bach with my teacher. There's a book. It's called Bach on Banjo. It's a creative name, and even it was super helpful. It's really difficult, but even playing through the pieces really slow and focusing on the movement of the left hand created a lot of dexterity and made other other pieces a lot easier to play.
uh-huh.
So um, I don't think anybody has ever said learning Bach is a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass, but you get a lot from it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean Bach
Not
is
wasting all the time. The thing I like best about Bach is even when you play it painfully slow, it still sounds good.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Versus like when you're trying to learn bluegrass, you're like, I know this is not how it sounds, but I gotta get the fingering down. Bach, you can play it no matter what speed, it just sounds good.
oh yeah. I mean, learning bluegrass, it was probably a long time before I even recognized the song that I was playing. It's like I'm playing the notes on this tab, but it doesn't sound anything like a recording that I've listened to. And yeah, I get it.
yeah. And my voice teacher said that like Bach is the most like fractal thing you can learn, or something along those lines, because it's got like the patterns upon patterns upon patterns. So it'll sound really good if it's slow, and it also sound really good if it's fast. I thought that was a very poetic way to say it. Have you guys seen those broccolis at like Whole Foods or whatever that is like these like fractal patterns? It's like that's what Bach sounds like. Yeah. Joshua, what's going on?
I'm just at work hanging out with you guys. I wanted to just come and be a fly on the wall.
Cool, man. Cool. Yeah, I think we got a few more minutes here before Google Meet kicks us off. Moro, you got anything else you want to mention, Moro?
Romanesco.
Romanesco, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yes, for some reason, I'm allergic to single string playing. So when you do your Celtic influenced songs, I actually get your tab and rewrite it in rolls.
Interesting.
And sometimes I'm successful at rewriting them, but the rolls are like kind of complicated. But for some reason, I find them more comfortable than playing single string. And it just, I don't know. I feel that I can approach the song that way rather than doing a single string. Because I mean, single string would be the most obvious way to play some certain songs, like particularly Celtic stuff. But I just can't do it, and so I need to rewrite them so that I can actually use three finger on three strings instead of two finger on one string.
Yeah.
And that I found that was it's an interesting exercise, and sometimes I'm not entirely successful. I do
So
that with
so what songs did you do?
I did Father or
Father O'Flynn, like the something like that?
No, no, no. Mine is it's like I literally use two or three positions, and I actually pick the notes. But that's the complication. There are a lot of um, open strings, and then you have fretted strings in between the open strings. So that makes, if you're not using your finger correctly, you just block them
Uh
off.
huh.
You just make it. It becomes like becomes kind of messy. But since the symphony, the melody is kind of simple, it's not too difficult. So I found myself moving my left hand up and down, right, like vertically on the fretboard rather than sideways, like if you were playing chords, because that is the only way that I could actually play the roll without getting knotted up in the strings with my finger. And it sounds really complicated, but actually I find it a little easier to play. And
Yeah.
I'm working on trying to find the. I'm working on it. I think I learn it all. But one thing that I notice when you play single string is that the melody is accented in a certain way, and it comes through very clearly. When you do rolls, it's kind of difficult
It's a different sound.
emphasis on a string that is in the middle of your hand, right? Instead with, so it's like the the accented notes become a little bit more softer, let's say.
Uh huh.
So so the song rolls, but there isn't that
Yeah.
the stopping effect of the single string.
Yeah. Man, you should send me the tab you made for that. I'd be curious to see that.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I'd
and
love
see what,
I'd love that. And while we're on that subject, if you want to learn how to play single string over jigs, the secret is going thumb one, thumb one, thumb one, thumb. That it's difficult. It's difficult, but once you get it, like that's where that driving jig sound is. Whatever it is. Thumb one, thumb one, thumb one, thumb.
I notice instead when you're doing in rolls, the finger that actually brings out it's not the thumb, it's the index.
Uh huh.
So you on the upstroke, and so it becomes a little bit more complicated. But I find it kind of it works. I mean, it works with my hand and my both hands. So I'll send you the tab so you can have a look at it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. Yeah, your melodic playing is very strong. I really liked looking at your transcriptions. I didn't play it, but it looked very good. Like your rolls were perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. Well, we should about wrap it up. Any last thoughts? Because I think they're going to kick us off. We might as well have a sweet goodbye before they boot us.
All right, guys. I had to knock off as well, but I had to go back to work.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well, nice to meet you, Moro. Thanks for hanging out.
Hey, Rick, before we go, can you tell us any movement on your banjo? Where the one got busted?
Oh, it got fixed.
Cool.
Yeah, it got fixed. Finally, after insurance paid for it. So I'm really happy to have that. Yeah. So thank you for asking.
Yeah.
The next step, and this is something that nobody told me. Do you guys know what a Plek machine is?
Yes.
Dude, I just found out what it is just like a few months ago. I was like, how come nobody fucking told me this? But like a Plek machine, it's like it'll take an MRI of your fretboard and then like tell you like how much the wood deviates and how much the frets deviate, and then it'll actually file the frets so it's perfect. Yeah, it's like $100,000 machine, a Plek. All right, guys, it says it's about to end. So much love, and I'll be in touch with you guys. Okay.
Thanks, Ricky.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.